being called a tryhard had to be one of the most lethal insults that you could get hit with growing up, right? It didn't matter if that was in school, with sports, or fucking Call of Duty. Nothing cut deeper than getting labeled as the tryhard. And, I was guilty of calling kids tryhards myself, because God forbid, you were a little better than me at something and put effort into something, then you're just a tryhard, right? That's, I'm just cool and you're just a tryhard. I look back at that mindset now. I mean, I was like that for, I'd say the majority of my life, spent all this time trying to be unbothered by shit and cool and, nonchalant. Like, my dumbass viewed putting effort into school as cringe, right? That I was too cool for that studying shit, right? As you can probably guess, like, this did me zero favors. It wasn't until I got older when I realized that, this was really just me being insecure. It's not that I was too cool to care, it's that I was too scared to try things, right? Because it's not easy to be yourself and put yourself out there and achieve the things that you want to achieve, right? It sounds easy, but it doesn't come naturally at all. So what we do instead is we try to create this cool version of ourselves that's not authentic, right? And we just hide behind that. But what becomes more and more clear to me as I get older is that fake version of myself is the one that gets me nowhere in life, right? Whether that's with relationships, professionally. As humans, we all have this built-in, bullshit detector that goes off whenever someone's not being themselves, right? And our generation has always been obsessed with this idea of aura, this idea of looking and being cool without having to try, right? And in a way, it makes sense. We grew up watching, whether, reality TV stars, influencers, just getting worshipped for literally doing nothing. So maybe that's what, put it into our head that doing nothing is cool, right? But the older I get, the more I realize this whole nonchalant act, trying to be cool thing that we grew up with and I used to do is actually, a recipe for being a loser, right? Like, it's pathetic. Like I said, being called a tryhard was like the finishing move from Mortal Kombat when we were growing up. But why? For some reason, we're expected to be great at everything, everything we do. It's like we don't even have to try. And I think it's because trying is a form of vulnerability, right? And that wasn't, quote unquote cool. But what trying is, though, is authentic. And I learned as I got older, people are drawn to authenticity, right? Meaning the worst thing you could do to yourself is try to be someone you're not. The worst thing you can do is not try because you're scared to fail, right? Or you're scared you'll be seen as not cool for doing what you want to do, right? Think about all the shit in life that you've wanted to do but didn't because you thought it would be viewed as weird or not cool by the people around you. Like me personally, I can quickly think of a few off the dome, this channel being one of them, right? So, and what's even worse than that is think about all the things you've done just to fit in. Not because you enjoy doing them or you think that they're cool, but because you think other people will think that it's cool, right? Like this last New Year's Eve, I was at this, fancy ass party at a members only club. I really had no business being there, right? My friend got me in and there's all these insanely, whether, rich or famous people that at the time I perceived them as cool as shit, like way cooler than me, right? And I remember just like trying dumb hard to fit in and just not acting like myself at all in the process, right? And I ended up drinking a little too much and just not having a good time. I remember being like, what a shit way to start 2025, right? So I woke up the next day, obviously not in the best mindset, to say the least. I was super in my bag. And that's when it like just hit me like a slap in the face. I was like, fuck this. Like, why am I trying to be someone I'm not? Why am I trying so hard to be cool? It's done nothing but continuously let me down in life, right? It's like, it's not working, right? I need to change something. I had this thought I'll never forget. I was like, it's time to stop trying to do what others think is cool and instead just start doing what I want to do, what I think is cool. And it's funny, the first of which was, starting to post to YouTube, which was something I wanted to do since I could remember, but I just never did. I always thought it wasn't cool. Like my friends, I thought everyone would just think it's weird, right? And I recorded my first video that day. So it's funny. You see what I'm saying here? It's like, if I'm being real with you guys, if I take a step back and think, this channel is one of the cooler things I've ever done, right? Through this channel, I've made connections with people all over the world. You know, people reach out to me saying, you know, something that I said stuck with them to the point where it helped them get out of, you know, a tough time, right? And it's just like, wow, like that's it. This only started because I said, fuck what other people might think is cool. I'm going to put myself out there and I'm going to be me, right? I'm going to put my energy into something that I enjoy instead of what I've been doing, you know, what I had been doing for years and years, which is putting my energy trying to be someone that I'm not, trying to be someone else, trying to fit in with some randos that don't give a shit about me anyway, right? And like, obviously I understand that this is easier said than done, right? Telling someone, you know, hey man, just do what makes you happy, man. Be yourself. Do what you want in life. Like, that's almost rage bait at this point. I mean, people have been telling us that since the beginning of time. That's not really where I'm trying to go with this, because, you know, the truth is it's okay to not know exactly what it is that you want out of life. Most people don't. I for sure don't know everything that I want, right? But I think an easy place to start, and it was for me, is like what you don't want out of life, right? Which for a lot of us is trying to be someone that you're not. No one enjoys not being themselves, right? But we all do it for some reason. There's no better feeling than when you're around people that you can just fully be yourself, right? And the truth is, there are people that are going to judge you and try to look down on you for trying to be yourself and for trying to do what makes you happy and for trying, period, right? These people exist, and pretending they don't is fried because they're out there, right? But in a way, it's comforting that they exist, because these people, the people that hate on someone for being authentic and being themselves and doing what makes them happy, are the most fucked of them all, right? The only reason that they're hating is because they're not comfortable being themselves, right? So it's like, why would I be scared of you? I genuinely feel bad for you, right? And the gym is the perfect example of this point. And even if you don't go to the gym, let me cook with this, right? So when I was younger, there was about a year where I wanted to hit the gym, but I was scared to, right? Because I thought that the people that go every single day would laugh at me for not knowing what I was doing, right? Then COVID hits. I was like, fuck it, I gotta start going to the gym. So I took that first step, and I quickly realized that the strongest dudes in the gym, the most scary looking, biggest dudes, are 99% of the times the most friendly guys, especially to newcomers. Like, they have nothing but respect for the new guy that's trying to get in shape, right? Because they're trying, and they can respect that. Trying is the key word here, right? So Timothée Chalamet, who, you know, has now been deemed white boy of the century, you know, I've never been a huge fan of this kid, probably because we both grew up in New York City, and only one of us is courtside with fucking Kylie Jenner at every Knicks game, right? And only one of us is the fucking Muad'Dib from Dune, right? But he did something a few months ago that was really dope. And I don't know what award it was, but he had just won something, and it was time for him to accept it. And he got up there and said something along the lines of like, look, I know the more accepted thing to do would be to downplay the effort that went into winning this award, but the truth is, I'm in the pursuit of greatness, and this award represents that, and represents, you know, how hard I'm trying. And I saw that, and I was like, fuck yeah, like, that's some real shit. Bro basically said, I'm a try hard, you know, and that's why I won this shit. And that's someone who's being authentic, right? So this whole idea of being someone you're not, being this cool kid who doesn't need to try, I just think it's lame, and it's really a trap, right? And this tendency we have to not be ourselves, this is applicable to, you know, even going out and talking to girls, right? Like, I'm no Timmy C here, but I notice that anytime I'm talking to a girl and it's going well, it's all coming naturally. You know what I mean? I'm not forcing anything. I'm just being myself. I'm not overthinking. I'm basically not thinking, right? I'm being authentic to who I am. But on the flip side, anytime I've botched with a girl, which, you know, has happened a couple of times, let's just say, it's because I'm trying too hard, right? I'm trying to be someone that I'm not. Like I said earlier, people are drawn to authenticity, right? So that's really the main takeaway here is this shield that we put up of not being ourselves and trying to be cooler than we think that we are is actually making us lame. Like, it's ironic, honestly. And, you know, just like in all my videos, I want to be clear. I'm not talking from a place of having it all figured out, right? The truth is, I still catch myself from time to time. You know, I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I trying to be someone I'm not? You know, even though I know how whack it is, it happens, right? And one of the many reasons I'm so grateful and blessed to have this channel is because it serves as a reminder to me too, right? About just sticking to myself and being authentic, right? So, yeah, just remember, you'll never be cool or reach your full potential by trying to be someone else, right? By mimicking someone else and acting like you don't care. It's okay to try. You know, be yourself, and if someone's got a problem with that, fuck them. Like I said, they have deeper problems, right? So yeah, thank you guys so much for 20,000 subscribers. I don't even know, to be honest, how to express my gratitude for that, except for just saying thank you, thank you, thank you. This community means more than the world, and I can't wait to see where it goes, man. And I know I've been a little slow with the uploads. I just got back from 2 weeks in Japan, but, you know, I'm back now, so I'm back to our usual pace. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.